Okay, so I'm going to move on and put here -1 and -1. This is what I did in the next pass. This is how the next pass look. So if we compare it to the previous one, so let's make this B and let's make this A. You see that the pixel size is being doubled. So based on this, you see that minimum rate of -1, what is actually doing is it's lowering your resolution, your resolution to half. Okay, for irradiance map calculation. So irradiance map in this case would be using half of the resolution for its calculation and sampling. So pretty much it wouldn't be using 1200, but it would be using in the width, it would be using 600 pixels. And you see here that these pixels in the -1 option are bigger, are pretty much twice as big as the other one. So how the sampling looks in here, if we compare it again, you see that the samples in here are starting to be less dense. Okay, it's still really high amount of sampling, but you see more gaps. You see no gaps in here, and you start to see gaps actually in here. So okay, I will just now be moving a little bit faster because it's not necessary to be doing this for every single step, but this is how -1 and -2 pass are looking. So the same logic is being applied. So the -2 pass is half the size of -1 pass. So pretty much it's like 1/4 of the original resolution. So this is in comparison to -1 pass, and this is in comparison to 0 pass. So this is the actual pixel size of my resolution, and this is quarter of the resolution. And if I was moving on and on and on, this is how the pass -3 look like. This is pass -4. Okay, and for the fun of it, I made pass -8. So the resolution is actually, you would be able to count the number of pixels that irradiance map would be using. Okay, so this is pass just for the repetition. This is pass -2, pass -1, -2, -3, -4, -8. And if you ever rendered irradiance map, you know that this is exactly how it is proceeding. We are going to be seeing this a lot. What is actually happening and how this is calculating, why it's happening like this. Because we have adaptiveness in here. One last thing, I'm just going to compare also the sampling. Okay, so this was pass -1, if you remember. This is pass -2. So you actually can see the samples, the dots. Each dot is a sample. So the higher the resolution, the more samples of course are being introduced, and the lower the resolution, the less samples are being introduced. This would be pass -3. This is pass -4. And this is pass -8. So again, if you really would want to, you can count them by hand, but you don't want to do that. So we are not going to do that. Okay, so why is this beneficial for us? Because if we set here minimum rate, for example, -4 and maximum rate -1, what is going to be happening in irradiance map? I'm going to be simulating it now. You are going to see it in the following tests. So -4 pass, if I open -4 pass, what is going to happen here? That is, irradiance map is going to collect samples from this map. And how it is going to be done, that it's not really recognizing any details, as you can see, because the resolution was really small, so the distances between the samples are quite big, so it's not exactly able to catch some details, but it is going to take samples based on the comparison again. Okay, so it is going to be comparing sample to sample, and if the sample information is similar enough, it's going to keep those samples. If the information about, actually there are two types of information that this is carrying. The information about the surface normals. So what that means, that for example surface normal in this area, in this pixel and this pixel, is having exactly the same surface normal. Okay, for example in here, this pixel and this pixel and this pixel are not having at all the same surface normals. Okay, so these area is going to be sampled more. And how this is working at that, since these, for example 4 pixels are having the same normals, that means that the area between them is able to be interpolated. So let's use the word averaged. Okay, so the information from these samples is taken and the area between them is being averaged to the moment that these are similar. If they are not similar, it needs more sampling.